Hello and welcome to RMU Live. Today is Wednesday, January 19th. I'm Terry Bell.
And I'm Julia Wozleski. Here's what's happening now.
After Winter Storm Izzy's western Pennsylvania roads like Pittsburgh's North Side, Beach Avenue, and others still need plowed. Public Works Director Chris Hornstein and his crew are working throughout the day and overnight to finish the remaining streets. There are 12 new trucks coming, but their arrival has been delayed due to COVID-19. While citizens like Brookline resident Paul Kozloff are, quote, not too happy about it, end quote, Hornstein has since made a new goal to have everything plowed by Tuesday night.
If the big snowstorm wasn't enough winter weather, temperatures this week will be dropping down to the 20s with morning forecasts in the low 20s. The temperatures will rise for the afternoons, heading into the high 20s. Although the temperature will be near the 40s today, they will drop again to the teens and even hit 3 degrees on Friday morning.
While already fighting against the drop in temperatures, a crew battled a house fire in Beachview neighborhood January 18th. There have been no reports on the injuries, and the cause of the fire is still unknown. Due to the cold weather, it made it very hard for the firefighters to break through as they fought. As said earlier, no one was harmed, and the cause of the fire is unknown.
The cold weather is causing several Pennsylvania counties to open warming stations for people to get toasty. Pittsburgh city parks are offering these warming stations for everyone, and some are even offering warm food and drinks to help combat the cold temperatures. Their times and locations of these warming stations vary, so visit the city park's Twitter or cbslocal.com to find warming stations near you.
We were pounded with snow earlier this week.
Jackie Rasta is in our weather studio to tell us what's going down this week. Jackie, what's going down?
Hi guys, welcome back to a new semester. I miss this green screen, I miss this mat on the floor, and I miss these wires hanging off my body. So with that, let's get into today's forecast. Today is going to be a high of 40 degrees and a low of 26. Humidity is going to be at 76%, and today there's going to be a 40% chance of rain. For our hourly forecast today, 3 p.m. is going to be all sun at 40 degrees. 6 p.m. is going to be a lot darker at 39 degrees, and at 9 p.m. it's going to be a clear night at 38 degrees. For tomorrow's weather, it's going to be a high of 31 degrees with a low of 9 degrees. Humidity is going to be at 69%, and there's going to be a 20% chance of rain. That's all for right now. Let's go back to the desk.
With all the snow that we have this week, most, if not all, the roads in the state were affected. One's in Johnstown.
Snow cleanup in Westmont, PA, a borough of Johnstown, PA. More than 7 inches of snow have fallen as of sunrise, and more was expected Monday morning into the afternoon. Crews will be working all week to get the snow cleaned up. Officials warn drivers to be careful and stay clear of the roads as much as possible as they work to clear everything. As the week goes on, temperatures are expected to fall, with Thursday being -4 degrees. Snow is expected to fall for most of the week as well. As crews look to keep everyone safe in this time, try to avoid travel as much as possible.
A man was shot in the leg on 6th Street in Pittsburgh on January 16th. Pittsburgh public safety officers report that people were called to the scene and believe that the shooting occurred due to a fight. The injured man was taken to a hospital and one person was taken into custody. The investigation is continuing, but no one else was injured. A student from Pittsburgh Carrick High School is currently facing charges after a gun was found. The school was put on lockdown on Tuesday morning after social media reports of a gun in the building were found. According to a spokesperson for Pittsburgh Public Schools, a parent from the district, the school contacted parents to alert them that city and school and police officials and canines found a gun, and it was confiscated by police. The lockdown was lifted in the afternoon, and the school will operate on a modified lockdown schedule on Wednesday, meaning that people will not be allowed in or out of the building without an appointment.
Former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine Bill Taylor says he believes there is nearly a 50% chance of a major war breaking out in Europe. As fears grow that Russian President Vladimir Putin is prepared to invade Ukraine, Taylor's remarks come as White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki told reporters that Biden administration is concerned the Kremlin is preparing for an invasion into Ukraine that may result in widespread human rights violations and war crimes should diplomacy fail to meet their objectives. North of North Versailles, a tractor-trailer crash occurred, resulting in Interstate 376 East briefly closing on January 16th. This closure was between the Monroeville exit, exit 80, and Penn Hills exit, exit 81. The road has reopened with the speed limit reduced to 45 miles per hour because of weather from Winter Storm Izzy. There are currently no reports regarding injuries. Going north of Monroeville to Plum, Crystal Veazey shot her boyfriend Glenn Smith Jr. in the chest, shoulder, and hand during their breakup. After the shooting, Veazey ran to her car and drove away, where she was found by police several miles away. Veazey currently is charged with attempted homicide, aggravated assault, and tampering with evidence at Allegheny County Jail. Smith is at a local hospital recovering in good spirits.
A large truck was stuck on Interstate 70 yesterday morning, causing the highway to be shut down in both directions. The truck landed on top of the highway divider at exit 42 in Westmoreland County and began to leak fluids, according to the Rostraver Central Fire Department. Firefighters from Bell Vernon Rostraver helped to clean up the wreck and move the truck. No one was injured, but a second crash was reported at exit 42 due to the backup. The truck was cleared right before 12 p.m. and the westbound lane was clear. Traffic from the eastbound lane was sent on a detour through Fayette Street to get back onto the highway.
UPMC's Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh announced their new president today, Diane Hupp. Graduating with her bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees, Hupp is, quote, humbled and grateful for the opportunity, end quote. She worked at Children's for 36 years, holding several positions, with the most recent one being Chief Nursing Officer and Vice President of Patient Care Services and Vice President of Operations. Keeping in the health industry, the Allegheny County Health Department shut down 2 businesses January 14th, Bria Azul in Garfield and Boards & More by Shannon in Crescent Township. Bria Azul is a Mexican restaurant and Boards & More by Shannon is a custom charcuterie board creator. The 2 food businesses were shut down due to operations without a valid health permit. The House Select Committee investigating the January 6th riot issued a subpoena Tuesday for Rudy Giuliani, a central figure in former President Donald Trump's failed bid to overturn the 2020 election on the basis of unfounded allegations of widespread voter fraud, in addition to Giuliani. The committee issued subpoenas to 2 other attorneys who pushed various election fraud conspiracies on Trump's behalf, Jenna Ellis and Sidney Powell, former Trump campaign advertiser Boris Epstein, who was among those working with Giuliani at the Post, Election Willard Hotel Command Center, was also subpoenaed Tuesday.
A body was found in Greenfield, PA on Friday near Shenley Drive and West Circuit Road. Officers examined the scene and did not determine any sinister causes, but will wait for input from the Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office before closing the investigation.
When we come back, there is a massive new change to the leadership of RMU.
And Michael Deemer is in the sports studio to tell us what is going down in the world of sports. Stay with us on RMU Live.
It's been difficult because I hadn't been able to see my grandchildren.
I can't wait to get back to field trips with my school.
Not having to think about putting on a mask.
I really can't wait to get back to life, really.
I miss all my friends. I miss taking pictures in school.
An expression on someone's face when you do something nice for them.
COVID-19 vaccines are available, and they're the first step to safely getting back to things we miss most. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccines.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 30 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people.
It's time to make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccines. The dangerous new Delta variant is more than twice as contagious as the original virus and can affect anyone. Right now, 9 out of 10 hospitalizations and deaths from COVID are among unvaccinated people. Getting vaccinated might save your life, and there's now an option that's fully approved by the FDA. Learn more at getvaccineanswers.org.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear, because for years he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say, like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire.
Welcome back to RMU Live. Robert Morris University President Dr. Chris Howard is leaving RMU to join Arizona State University as the Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of ASU Enterprise in February. He will be working with ASU Enterprise affiliates and working to advance the organization. His wife, Barbara Howard, will also be joining ASU in February as a University Fellow for Nonprofit Leadership.
Robert Morris University has officially reinstated the NCAA Division I hockey program for the 2023-2024 school year. RMU Athletics creating the Hockey is a Goal campaign and joining the Pittsburgh College Hockey Foundation in hosting a celebrity hockey face-off alongside other efforts made this possible. If you'd like to purchase seats, move fast because the season is already near a sellout.
2 RMU students have taken home the gold during the National Cyber League Fall 2021 season. First-year MS Cybersecurity student Chris Prada and sophomore BS Cybersecurity student Zachary Newton have both won gold medal. The competition strives to foster learning for the cybersecurity students, and the RMU faculty coach for the students was Ping Wang, a professor of computer information systems and cybersecurity. Steelers legend Ben Roethlisberger has become the 3rd highest of all-time playoff passers in history. During the Steelers' 42-21 Sunday night loss to Kansas City Chiefs, Roethlisberger threw 215 yards and 2 touchdowns. This moved him up to number 3 on the list of top playoff passers, leaving him 3rd only to Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, respectively.
Tristan Jari has once again been selected to play in the NH All-Star Game. Jari is playing representing the Metropolitan Division on February 5th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Jari made the team last in 2020 in the fan vote after a disappointing end to the 2021 playoffs. Jari has bounced back as the Pens are 23-10 record and 38 points on the year. Hines Ward, former Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver and special assistant to the head coach at Florida Atlantic, completed an interview with the Houston Texans January 15th. After the Texans fired David Culley after 1 year on the job, candidates, with Ward being one of them. Houston looks to bounce back in 2022 as they finish 3rd in AFC South and have a young quarterback, Davis Mills. Michael Deemer is in Sports Studio to tell us what went down this week in sports.
Michael, what's going on?
Thank you, guys. In Pittsburgh sports, the Steelers fell to the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC wildcard game by a score of 42-21 and are eliminated from the NFL playoffs. One of the biggest question marks for the Steelers in this offseason is the quarterback position. Big Ben Roethlisberger has been mulling retirement throughout the 2021 season and has made it all but official on his retirement at this moment. But it seems like there's a good chance that Sunday was his final time we'll see him in the black and gold. There are 2 different directions the Steelers can go in. They can trade or sign a veteran in free agency, or they can go young and build through the draft. There are a lot of questions that answers that Mike Tomlin and the Steelers look to rebuild under center. The Penguins went out west during the Martin Luther King holiday. Evgeny Malkin was finally back in the lineup, making a season debut on January 11th after returning from knee surgery. He opened the season with a splash, scoring 2 goals and an assist against the Anaheim Ducks. But the Pens gave up 6 goals for the 3rd time this year in LA, a 6-2 whitewash loss. And on Saturday, the Pens made their trip to the Shark Tank in San Jose, winning it as Jake Gensel overtime winner after trailing 3-0 in Vegas in the first period on Monday. The Pens came back thanks to Jason Zucker's 2-goal performance and came back on the way of a 5-3 victory. The Penguins are 23 wins, 10 losses, and 5 losses in the Metropolitan. As for RMU sports, men's basketball team suffered a loss to the guard position as the leading scorer Rasheem Dunn has left the program on January 6th. The Colonials had a 5-game homestand in the Event Center, losing the first 4 by a combined score of just 13. The Colonials got their first Horizon League Conference win with a 74-64 win against Northern Kentucky. Khalil Spear had himself a night, leading the Colonials with 21 points and 11 rebounds. The Colonials improved to 3-14 and 1-7 in the conference. Coach Toole's team will travel to Purdue-Fort Wayne on Thursday and Cleveland State on Sunday. As for the women's basketball team, they have been a little bit more successful, a 7-8 record with a 5-5 record in the Horizon League play. After an outbreak in the Wright State program, the Colonials were awarded an official 2-0 victory and faced IUPUI on Friday night. The Colonials shot a dismal 18 for 53 and only had 1 3 on 11 attempts to fall. Jaguar senior Macy Williams' 18 points and 13 rebounds were also a difference maker, defeating the Colonials 63-44. They looked to rebound on Sunday afternoon against UIC. Despite no one on the Colonials reaching a double figures, they also extinguished the flames at the same time, squeaking by in a 50-44 win at home. The women will play a home-and-home against their neighbor, Youngstown State, as the student team square off on Moon Township on Thursday night, and then again at the Bigley Center on Sunday afternoon. In RMU football news, the Colonials were fully represented in the past week. On January 8th, 5th-year tight end Marcus Ademola signed a Mullins talent agency in hopes to pursue a professional career. Then, just a couple days later, 2 seniors, safety Miles Hayes and cornerback Taven Harville, were both selected to play in bowl games in the past weekend. Hayes played in the Hula Bowl as Harville played in the Tropical Bowl. Both games were played in Orlando, Florida. Harville, after his appearance in the Tropical Bowl, also announced he was pursuing a pro career. In RMU volleyball news, head coach Danny Doherty, the longtime assistant coach, is now permanent head coach. Doherty took over the interim head coach position in the final 4 games of the 2021 season after the departure of Dale Starr early December. That's all from sports. Back to the desk with Tarion and Julia.
When we come back, COVID has been rising, but now you can test at home.
We have a brand new Health Minute for you here on RMU Live.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
Let's go.
you'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes.
Make a plan today.
Welcome back to RMU Live. The AARP Tax Counseling Program is partnering with volunteers from Westmoreland County Community College to assist residents with their taxes. The group is offering free services to those who are elderly, disabled, and/or low-income residents. If you qualify, be sure to make an appointment and bring a mask and your tax records and social distance upon arrival. More information can be found at pittsburgh.cbslocal.com.
According to RMU COVID-19 dashboard, 35 students and 3 employees are in isolation, and 51 students and 19 employees are in quarantine. Individuals in isolation have tested positive for COVID-19. Individuals in quarantine have shown symptoms and are awaiting test results or have been exposed to an infected person. The number of people in isolation and quarantine includes both those doing so in campus housing and off-campus housing, or in the case of employees, their homes. 400 million N95 face masks will be available for free at thousands of locations across the country from late January. The highly protective masks will be available for free at pharmacies and community health centers across the country. A White House official said the masks, which will be sourced from the Strategic National Stockpile that holds a total of 737 million masks from 12 domestic manufacturers, will be shipped out at the end of the week. The program is slated to be fully operational by early February. The U.S. Postal Service has begun taking orders for free at-home coronavirus test kits. The White House says it will prioritize shipments to Americans from zip codes that have experienced high rates of COVID-19 cases and deaths. With the first 20% of each day's orders going to those areas, there will also be a phone number so those without access to computers or high-speed internet can place orders. Some 700,000 people were on the test kit website at one point Tuesday afternoon.
The Omicron variant's ability to spread quickly has created an extraordinary need for COVID-19 tests, leading to shortages and frustrations. But this week, new measures are being put in place, and White House officials say they will make it easier for Americans to get a test. There's more information on what you need to know in today's Health Minute.
That's why we've had to take additional measures. We have 1 billion tests that will become available to people that they can order through the website.
Finally, for those uninsured, free home tests can be obtained from certain community health centers or requested through the federal program online. A free line will also be launched for people without internet access who want to get a free at-home test from the federal government. A launch date for that call line has not been provided yet.
With so much going on in the world of arts and entertainment, Sam Dutch is at our new A&E desk to tell us what went down.
Sam, what's going on?
Thanks, guys. Now time for my favorite and a brand new A&E desk, so I'm super excited. So 2 nights ago, while everyone was watching, the NFC wildcard game between the Rams and the Cardinals, I turned it on at halftime solely for the new trailer for Marvel's newest upcoming show, Moon Knight. So coming off the busyness of 2021 with Hawkeye and Spider-Man No Way Home, it'll be premiering on March 30th on Disney Plus and features Oscar Isaac as Stephen Grant, who can't quite tell the difference between his waking life and dreams. It appears to offer a darker, potentially scarier tone than we're used to seeing during the Disney-owned Marvel era. Moving over to Hulu, yesterday, How I Met Your Mother spin-off How I Met Your Father premiered. Showrunners have created what they describe as a standalone sequel that focuses on a group of friends trying to navigate life, which of course encompasses the highs and lows of dating and falling in love. It centers on a female protagonist, Sophie, played by Hilary Duff, and it has a similar format and tone to How I Met Your Mother. After having a Harry Potter reunion on HBO Max, The Return to Hogwarts, Daniel Radcliffe will be taking a break from his beloved role of Harry Potter and will play pop parody legend Weird Al Yankovic in an upcoming biopic titled Weird, The Al Yankovic Story. Yesterday, Yankovic confirmed the exciting news via a statement to Entertainment Weekly. Quote, "When my last movie came out in 1989, I made a vow to my fans that I would release a major motion picture every 33 years, like clockwork. I'm very happy to say we're on schedule." End quote. In the field of love and relationships, Machine Gun Kelly proposed to Megan Fox last week on Wednesday, who said yes to the singer, and he gave her an engagement ring made out of thorns, saying, quote, "Love hurts." Afterwards, they drank each other's blood. Seems like a bloody interesting relationship to me. On a sadder note, on Monday, beloved actress Betty White would have celebrated her 100th birthday. She passed just before New Year on January 31st. She suffered a stroke almost a week before she died, and her cause of death was listed as a cerebrovascular incident, which is a loss of blood flow to part of the brain, leading to brain tissue damage. Well, thank you for being a friend, Betty. Also, a tragic celebrity death was Full House star known for his role of Danny Tanner, Bob Saget. He died at the age of 65 on his Don't Do Negative tour, comedy tour in Florida. He was found in his hotel, detectives saying there were no signs of foul play or drug use in this case. Around this same time frame, Joe Gatto announced his leaving of the hilarious show Impractical Jokers after his divorce with his wife. He wanted to focus on co-parenting their children. Well, Marissa and Q, we'll see who's the next biggest loser. Speaking of loss, hopefully you won't lose your personal belongings if you attend Coachella. The lineup was recently announced with Harry Styles, Billie Eilish, and Kanye West, all serving as headliners during Coachella 2022. The festival will take place April 15th through the 24th and will be in Indio, California. That's all I have for entertainment today, so back to you, Julie and Teria, at the desk.
When we come back, Jackie Rasta is back to break down what the weather will be like this week.
Don't go anywhere, here on RMU Live.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
Watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort.
to get to know each other,
On a deeper level.
Father,
cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
it's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together.
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Yeah, Sam, Elmo.
Oh, hey, Julia. Are you ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down,
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Can I get the now bar, please?
$1.
Have a good one.
Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
You got it.
Welcome back to RMU Live. The huge snowstorm that hit Pittsburgh over the weekend may have caused some strife for those trying to leave their houses, but the Bethel Park football coach has taken the opportunity to spread some positivity. Instead of holding a typical weightlifting practice for his players, he told them to find a neighbor that was elderly or disabled and shovel their driveway for them for free. Coach Brian Diallo mentioned the long history of the tradition and told KDKA, quote, "You get a lot more out of this than did you bench press 300 pounds today. This is really cool. It's a chance to connect with the community, and you don't get many of those, so this is nice," end quote. Now Jackie Rusta is going to tell us what's happening with the weather for this week.
All right, let's get back into it. Tomorrow's weather is going to be a high of 31 degrees and a low of 9 degrees. Stay safe. Humidity is going to be at 69%, and there's going to be a 20% chance of rain. For the weekly forecast, on Wednesday it's going to be rainy with a high of 40 degrees and a low of 26 degrees. Thursday is going to be sun and clouds with a high of 31 degrees and a low of 9. Friday is going to be about the same thing with a high of 19 degrees and a low of 1 degree. Saturday, about the same thing, sun and clouds with a high of 25 degrees and a low of 1 degree. Sunday is going to look a lot better with some more sun than clouds and at 25 degrees at a high and a low of 15 degrees. If you guys trust me at all for your weather person, to be your weather person, do not go outside Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. And if anybody asks you why, tell them Jackie said so. Let's go back to the desk.
If you want to stay up to date, all things news, and A&E in the Pittsburgh and Moon area, then check out RMU-CenturyMedia.com. The rights over there have you covered. Don't forget to check out this multimedia section as well, with some amazing videos on the way. If you want to stay notified, follow us on social media at RMU-CenturyMedia to find out when stuff is released.
And if you're a massive Colonials fan like me, then check out Colonial Sports Network. They will have you covered as the basketball teams continue their march to the conference tournament, and the track team prepares for their season. It's all there for you, as well as a podcast for everything going on in the world of sports here at RMU, so be sure to check it out.
That's all the time we have for RMU Live. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Terrion Bell.
And I'm Julia Wozleski. Stay safe, be careful, and we will see you next week.